The O Cannabis Conference and Expo returns to Toronto June 1st through the 3rd, and there's still some good booth locations available. This exciting event is free for cannabis retailers and will feature Tommy Chong receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the O Cannabis Industry Awards. For more information about exhibiting or to register to attend, go to ocannabis.com. That's OCANNABIZ.com.
Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're going to take a look at a report from Brightfield Group on the trends for budget products. Today's podcast is brought to you by the Great Outdoors. So according to Brightfield Group, their budget price category features an affordable items, which seek to give consumers the best bang for their buck. So as the cannabis market has shifted and matured, the sorts of products being offered at this price tier have become increasingly varied, especially as more companies seek to appeal to customers who spend less during their dispensary visits. From a retail perspective, it's incredibly crowded at the value level. There's a lot of competing brands that have low price. So the higher you go in price, the less competitive it's going to be, but there needs to be a reason, there has to be a turnover, right? There needs to be a reason for people to go and buy those things. So an infused Cannagar at $420 is only going to sell if you have a limited release, maybe quarterly, if that. So we have seen high item prices that do turn over, but there needs to be a reason. Some of the reasons we see for budget items is somebody wants to try something, with a low overall price point. So pre-rolls in Washington are a perfect example. We sell more pre-rolls in Washington than any other state. 1 in 5 basket orders has a pre-roll in it, making Washington one of the highest for that. And I think it's because people want convenience. They also want low price. They also want to try different things. We have seen a trend towards smaller packaging sizes. In Canada, they only have 10 milligrams. So Washington State, they have about 100 milligrams broken down into 10 milligram samples or serving sizes. So one of the more significant trends in the budget category is decreased product size as compared to the more expensive products. Many items in the budget tier offer lower overall amounts of THC, but at a proportionally lower price point. I've had this kink in my neck for several days, so I went out after I got a massage the other day and got 100 milligram chocolate. It's broken down into 10 individual 10 milligrams, so I got to open up all of those and eat them. Didn't really do anything, didn't really get me high. I think it helped me sleep a lot better. Super hungover, needed a lot more coffee than normal. But I only spent $16 on that, so I could have walked out with a pre-roll or something else, but decided to tip the guy $4. We're seeing some flavor preferences changing or maybe just kind of coming to the surface. With 20 million layoffs, there's a lot less disposable income out there. So as people are maybe a little bit more concerned about disposable income, cutting back on top shelf stuff, it's kind of opening up doors or avenues for trying other things. So the opportunity right now is for a lower entry point, maybe a lower dosage amount overall, smaller package, smaller pricing point. We can also see that in beef jerky with the price increase in beef jerky, the size of the packages are a lot smaller. Instead of $10 for a pound, you're seeing $10 for 8 ounces. So people are getting creative with smaller packaging sizes. Taking a look at some of the products that are leading the way, vape carts and cartridges. So you can see 0.5 gram and 1 gram cartridges, and I'll throw in tankers as well to refill those. Those are the syringes. We were seeing some of those 1 gram syringes as low as $18. Now they're as much as $30. I don't know if that's because the competition has gone or that particular producer figured out that the price was too low. Either way, there's going to be a lot more vape carts you're going to see in places that still have stigma, like a medical market like Arizona, for example. They're going to want something that's incredibly discreet, not selling so much pre-rolls that we do up here in the Northwest, but more vape carts. My buddy Jason Lammers at 420 Wholesale Pack has these vape carts where you can put 2 cartridges in the same battery. So that's nice if you want an indica or a sativa or a THC and a CBD. Either way, I see that there's going to be a lot more innovation, a lot more opportunities for investors and entrepreneurs to have a lot more products and ways for people to consume vape carts aside from the typical old pens. Edibles are definitely selling during this pandemic. You're seeing this, some of the trends in edibles with 100 milligrams of total THC in each product. The biggest disruptor in Q1 22 in budget edibles is a mini dark chocolate. Product has managed to hit a price point of under $10 by decreasing the total THC concentrate to 50 milligrams So that's a little on the expensive side. $20 for 100 milligrams is more than I want to spend. Even $16 was more than I wanted to spend. In order to make cannabis something that people buy on the regular, whether it's CBD or THC, it has to be comparable to traditional products. So if a soda selling at $23, I mean, no wonder that Olala went out of business in Washington, a soda company. You can't sell $23 sodas and think that people are going to come back and keep buying those. So I'm seeing anywhere from 10 to 15 cents per milligram. So $10 to $15 for 100 milligrams is going to be, or should be, the going price moving forward. We also saw tinctures on the rise with trending. With this Brightfield report, they pull out Mary's Medicinals tincture that has 1,000 milligrams of THC in each bottle. It's about a $50 price point. That's actually pretty good. I spent about $98 for 1,000 milligrams, but it's also a trusted brand. The report ties the popularity of this particular tincture to the value and the lemon lime flavor. I'm not sure the lemon lime flavor is the reason why it's selling so much. It's probably because of 1,000 milligrams, based on, from what I've been asking, some of the CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Bartell, little mom and pop pharmacy places. It's the 1,000 milligrams. So they're looking at the highest milligram at the lowest price point. Same thing people are doing in THC markets, asking for what's the highest THC at the lowest price point. Top two things that is always the same for purchasing decisions is price and convenience. It doesn't matter what they're looking for. And especially with something like CBD, when people don't really understand the difference between broad spectrum, full spectrum, and isolate, you want something that is a full cannabis extract oil or a full spectrum. Problem with that, though, is you can't guarantee that there's going to be 0.3% THC or less. You can test for it, but it's not always going to be a guarantee. So for somebody that's going to be selling across state lines or internationally, there's more risk to that. Personally, for me, I'd rather go into a store and find a 1-to-1 CBD to THC ratio. For me, that's the best ratio. For my neck pain, I've been using from Zone In CBD capsule, as well as the tincture. I'll use a tincture in the morning and then the capsules at lunch, or gel caps. I'll also use edibles when I need them, very rarely, but I was really bad the other day, so I went out and grabbed some dark chocolate minis just like this, 100 milligrams, and tinctures throughout the day as I need them. Also vape. I've been using a THC vape pen as needed. I'm smoking on a hemp blunt right now, just because the pain is significant, but each to their own. I don't dab a lot, but when I do, I use the Vape Exhale. So the nice thing about the Vape Exhale is that you can adjust the temperature, and also it has a water feature. So a little water bong here if you like, or just a straight glass tube. Either way, concentrates are definitely leading products for trending and popularity. California always leads popular items, whether it's strains or categories, about 6 months after they're popular in California. Colorado will pick that up, and about 3 to 6 months after that, Washington will pick that up. And so whether it's the cookie strains that are all the rage, or concentrates, it's definitely popular in California, likely because the category delivers a punch at a reasonable price. So Brightfield Group is highlighting Raw Garden. They have some Dosi sauce and some cookies sauce. Both have seen master distribution growth over the first quarter 2020. So it's available in 1 gram packages for as little as $35, 65% THC. So when California first rolled out, that was twice the price. It was $60 to $70 for a gram. So anyone who came out with the business plan thinking that they were going to get that long term, obviously it's been cut in half already, a year later. All right, so Brightfield Group's trending low budget products is concentrates, tinctures, edibles, and vapes. So we're also going to do another podcast about the 5 ways that this quarantine has changed the cannabis industry forever. So you're going to have to look for that. With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out.
How do cannabis CEOs balance growth and optimization strategies? What is THCO, Delta 10, and CBNA, and why should you care about these minor cannabinoids? And why isn't the endocannabinoid system covered in medical school? Most people think they're up to date in trends in the cannabis industry, but they're about 6 weeks behind. Learn about what is truly next in the cannabis space by joining myself, Brian Fields, and Kellen Finney every week on the Dime Podcast, and of course, on PodConnects.